Hey folks, welcome to tonight's stream. It's a Sunday night, and I've got no idea what I'm going to do tonight. So, I'm going to start with something I noticed earlier on today, and we'll see if my little idea I had while walking to the shop will work. And that, I shall give you an example of what I came across and I don't particularly like. And what it is the speed of this. Okay? I don't like the speed of the animation. That is what I don't like. Now, it's not as bad as it was, as I thought it was, but I still don't like it. So, my idea for this is basically to get our vampire hunter to get our animation for his different things and slow them all down. Okay, so if we look at our blend space here, okay, we can look at this animation walk, and in fact, I'll tell you what we'll do is we shall just do the animation run. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll try and slow this down. Okay. Now, what's this? Yeah, that looks like it. So if I set that to 0.8, I'm not sure if that is actually changing anything, to be fair. I may have to actually change this in the blend space. Okay, and I don't know if I can actually do that, to be fair. Oh yeah, we can. But it slows everything. But that might still be a better option. Right, so we'll test this out. We'll take a look at it and see what it says, or see how it looks. Now, tonight, because I've got no plan, if anybody out there in YouTube live world has something that they want to look at, then by all means let me know and we can do some kind of tutorial or something. Yeah, we're liking that better. Okay, so that is a lot better. So that is good that my little idea basically worked. Okay. And we're going to take a look. I had actually had a, whatchamacallit, a power outage earlier for about 10 seconds, which basically closed all my stuff down. So I would normally have this open, but we're going to have to open it again. Okay, so I had actually updated this to a degree. Right, player and blueprint is for the moment up to date. Okay. And as far as our warm decall messages, we have now got a system in place. We did that earlier today. We changed that all out to a dynamic instance so that we just use one material rather than an individual material for every single message. We now pass it into a dynamic material instance and set that up from there from a data table. We still have to do something with the monster attacks and animation. Gateway decor is something that we could take a look at, I suppose. New room parts is going to be naturally evolving once I start putting more levels together to see what type of room parts we need. Okay, but I know I can build rooms with various. I know I can build a level with various rooms in it, so that is not quite so much a problem. If we need to add extra parts, it's probably going to be more of a case of decoration than anything else. Steam achievements is again partly in place. We have that set up now, ready to go once I get a Steam activation code. We have updated the offline high scores, and that's going to come in the form of basically scores for each level. Okay, so we could actually maybe work on that. Let me show what we have at the moment. Now we're going to have a Steam version as well. So what we're going to do here is basically say high scores, and you'll see here that we've got time, rating, and whether we completed the level, right? Now this is kind of obsolete because you can't get a high score unless you actually complete the level, right? And obviously we have some extra ones here with nothing in them because basically we haven't set them up yet. But what we are going to have to do is turn this into a scroll bar, so that, and then only add the ones that we actually have a score for, right? Because we don't want to reveal. Well, I'll tell you what, we only want to show the ones that have been unlocked. Excuse me. We only want to show the ones that have been unlocked. Right, so we could actually work on that. Right? So actually, let's do that. That seems like a good thing to get done. Now, this is the thing about updating every day and doing these streams, is that gradually you end up with a game, whether you kind of like it or not. You know, getting all these, like, making all these little tweaks, instituting different systems, you end up with a working game, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into our main menu. We're going to get into our high scores. Now, we're not doing the Steam high scores yet because we're going to need to get stuff from Steam for that. But we're going to have a look at our high scores, right? So basically, this horizontal box at the top, right? This horizontal box here is our title bar, right? And then we're adding stuff to VB score, okay? So basically, what we're going to have to actually do here is set this up slightly differently. Okay, so let's work on that, shall we? So the first thing we're going to have to do is add a grid. Okay. And then we're going to add a vertical box to that. Okay. And then the first thing we're going to try, well, I'll tell you what, right? What we'll do is we'll get this horizontal box, right? And we'll duplicate it. And then we'll put it in here. Okay. Now, this grid panel is going to be fill. And this horizontal box right, so these we're going to say auto for that. Right, we're going to say and that's a vertical box as well. Okay. Right, so we've got a canvas panel. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I've done that wrong. Right, okay, I've done that wrong. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this with a canvas panel. And then we're going to drop our vertical box into the canvas panel. We don't actually want a grid panel. So we're going to delete our grid panel. Okay. And then our anchors for the vertical box are going to be that. Okay. Now, the reason we're doing this is we want to get the scroll bar in the correct place, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to duplicate this, and you'll notice that that now gives us two, right? Two of these. And then what we want to do is we want to find out which one it is we want to wrap in a scroll bar. Okay. And again, the scroll box is going to be full size to content, right? And in our scroll box, we're not going to do anything with that at the moment, but we're always going to show the scroll bar. Okay? And we're always going to show that. So you can see that there. So that is now in the right place. Okay? And what we're going to now do is take this and we're going to say VB underscore new score, and we make it a variable. Okay. And the interesting thing here is that this, we probably need in this one here, we probably need a bit of padding to the right, right? And it looks like we need 15. Or let's say 16. No, actually 14. Okay. And that keeps everything right. Okay. And now we can change the code to add these to VB new score. Okay. So if we go to our graph, we can go to VB new score, get that, and add them in here. Okay. And now you can see that we have our scroll bar. Now what I'm going to have to do with this is add more values to this to check that once I take these away, our scroll bar will actually work, right? Because at the moment it doesn't need to scroll anywhere. Okay. So we can stop that for now. And if we go back to our designer, then we can take out that and take out that. And now, as you can see, once I hit the high scores, this gives us our scroll bar. Okay. But we need to go to our graph and we need to get our high scores, right? But this is coming from a setup when we create the default. So what I'm gonna have to do is probably go in here, yep, and duplicate, 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 duplicate. So let's say there's 12 levels. We save that. Okay. Then the next thing we need to do is go back to our chronicles and then our saved and saved games and then delete this. Okay, so the next time it's going to load these. Okay. I actually meant to move this down, and then we should have our scroll bar working. But we don't. Now the question is whether I had to change these levels or not. Okay, so we'll stop this for now and we'll just change them, right? It's the easiest way to do it. So we'll say 6 and 6. We'll say 7. We'll just change all these first, right? Go 8. So we'll change this to 7. Change this to 8. To 9. It's just so there's no spanner in the works that's doing something weird to screw us up, basically. I'll change this to 12. Okay. Then we'll just do the same but on the actual level. Oh, that was already, there was already a 9. Should be 10. We'll do 11. And we'll do 12. Okay. So this might actually be okay. Right, what we might need to do here is do a breakpoint and find out how many high scores we've got to see how many it's adding to our VB new score, right? So we've put a breakpoint in here to find out, and if it is 12, that means that basically we're not focusing on this widget, right? Oh, I need to restart it, but we can find out anyway if there's 12. I believe. Okay, we can't get it because it's coming from the instance. So what we want to do is basically grab this and say length, right? And then we can do a print string, right? And this is basically going to print out this however many times, right? So we can say 10 seconds for that. Then we do that. And then we can do that and that. And we can do that. And there's 5. So this is basically picking it up from somewhere else, right? It's not picking it up from that data table at all. Okay, so we basically need to find out where that data is coming from. Okay. So we can delete that. I'm just going to test this by deleting this again and running it once more to find out what is actually going on. Oh, there we go. And there is an issue. Okay. So this is basically not adhering or this is not adhering to the right thing, basically. It's not adhering to the correct sizing issues. So what we're going to do for there is right, bear with me guys, we're going to run it again and we're going to go to options, right, and we're going to find, I believe it's the key bindings, right? This gives us the right, so this works, right? So we want to find out the correct wrappers, the way that that's wrapped around, so that we know which way we want to wrap the other thing. So if we look at bindings, it's round there, but it has 2 canvas panels. Okay, that canvas panel is there, and that canvas panel is there. Okay, and we do give it a size X and Y. Okay. So, in effect, we wrap this with another canvas panel. This canvas panel stays as it is. This canvas panel is given a size though. Right? So we're going to say 1, 1, 2, 2. Right? And then this one we're going to probably say about 275. Seems about right. And there we go. Stop that, save that, press play, high scores, resume, and there we go. Okay. Now that is actually way too big. Right. So probably what we should do is that. Right. And we're going to take this breakpoint off because we're nearly there. We've just got a little bit of tweaking to do. And yep, that is absolutely it. Okay. Our close button still works, everything's still good. Right, yet another little issue that has been sorted out. Now, this is what I was saying about sticking at a project and doing X amount of definite work every day. You basically fix issues and you end up with a game. Okay. Now, one of the things here is under gameplay, we have basically taken away head bob. Okay. So what we can do is delete this. Okay. And then if we go to the graph, we'll find out where we have an error. Okay. we're going to delete that and we'll say enabled is true. We've got one more. And we literally just basically take that one away and do that. And we take that away. Okay. And then we have one more thing to do. We can do this either of two ways, but the most obvious is it's going to be set up in our save game and game instance, right? So all we really actually need to do is set it up in the instance, but we should really, we've got this struct sends. Okay, and so in our save game chronicles, in our gameplay settings, we set this to true and save it. Okay, and that should be it. We never need to worry about it again, because that'll get passed to our game instance and it will just always be true even though we're not using it anymore. We could remove it altogether, okay, that would be an option. Is that what we'll do? Yeah, we could do that. But we're not gonna, right? That will fix the issue. Either way, if we go about and change things, we can just switch all of that stuff back on if we need to. So that is another little issue sorted out. Okay. So now, if we press play, go to options, and then we go to gameplay, it no longer has look up and down enabled. Now, difficulty might get taken out as well at some point. Okay. But for the moment, we'll leave it there. And we'll see how it goes. So next, we want to go to our maps, go to our gateway, got a couple of things there. It could be right. I've got an idea for this, right? That you're going to have a partner, and he's going to be like a Holmes, whereas you're he's going to be like a Watson, whereas you are Holmes. Okay, and the point being that he's going to talk to you, right? And but each time you come in here, he's going to be like doing something different, maybe like he'll be over here reading a book, right? Or he'll be sitting down here reading a book, right? or he might be over here examining something, right? Or let's say he's over here looking out the window, right? But he's going to be in different places, or he might be up here doing something else, right? But the point being that basically he'll be in different positions depending on what level you are, depending on, you know, the level you've just done or whatever. And the idea for these night guys is for them to be like at the top of these stairs, and they might block your progress, right? So basically what I mean by that is yeah, that doesn't work. Oh yeah, that does. Right, so if we lift him, shift and then end hits down on the first thing it hits, okay? So basically these guys are going to be at the top of the stairs here. Right, and they're going to stop you. Right, so these guys are going to have like a weapon, and they're going to cross, and these will stop you coming up here under certain circumstances. Okay, if you've not unlocked, let's say, up to level 5 or something like that, right? But the point being that we're trying to make the gateway, which is this level, where you select entry to the other levels, a little bit more interactive, right? And one of the other ideas is that once you've opened this might slide open and reveal another room with more paintings or whatever, or more levels basically, or something, right? But it's just basically to make this place a little more interactive, right? If I remember right, there's not an awful lot. Yeah, light switches and stuff, right? Furniture pack, what's in here? These are modern stuff, so we're not going to worry about that. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here actually. A lot of it's modern, but there are some interesting stuff. Yeah, it's actually interesting. Okay. Okay, that is actually probably in a bit more the style that we're going for here. If I use these very sparingly, let's have a look at what SM Classic drawer. Yeah, that's just a drawer, right? So you obviously need to use this with a cupboard and line them all up, etc. Is this? Yeah, it is actually. See? I mean, you could use it on the outside if you don't get the drawers to slide out, but a lot of these are what about this? Right, what's this? That's okay. That's okay as well, actually. Right, we've got our chair there, right? let's bring in this chair. Yeah, that kind of works. Yeah, I'm liking that. And then rather than this, can't remember what you call them. There is a French word for those things. Can't remember what it is though. If anybody in the chat can remember what those are called, let me know. Right, so I think these are actually a slightly smaller scale than we could go for the 3. And I know this should be decorating, and basically what I'm basically doing is redecorating the stuff that I already had, which is kind of defeats the purpose a bit. And we'll pull it just out a tiny bit. There we go. Yeah, that's okay. We can live with that. Right. So that's okay. And that's also okay. I'm wondering, this is SM old chair. You see how, what I was saying, these are slightly smaller in scale. Right. So I was right in that this should probably be 1.2. I think that's just a tiny bit too big though. Should probably go to 1.1. Right, and we should probably just move this out a little bit more. You okay? Now, I'm wondering if there's any... We have this Victorian interiors, right? And we have meshes. I'm wondering if there's anything here as a singular item that we can use within our gateway, because we're obviously not going to use a bed, right? And it doesn't look as if we have. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look to see if I've got anything else that's going to give us some assets that we could use. Right, now I'm pretty sure I don't, but we live in hope. And wait a minute, what's this? I want to see what this is. Okay, that is actually a particle effect. Okay. That's got particle effects in it. Ah, damn it. I'm going to go back here. Let's see what it says. Translucent material. Material overlay function needs blueprint editing on an existing material. On volume take out doesn't require editing, just copy and paste. Camera post-process effects. Okay. Let's go for that. Let's install this. And let's see if we can add something to what I want is for the damage, right? When you get damaged, I want a blood type effect, but it would be quite nice to do the material on the windows of the gateway, right? So at least we can play around with it and see what options it gives us, right? Because it would be nice to stop the player looking out the window without stopping the player looking out the window, if you know what I mean. Right? Now, where is this? Is the question. Rain material. Okay. Materials. And we've got particles. Right? So let's just drop. Okay. Right. Fine. Okay, that's a pretty big rain shower, to be fair. That seems to be practically inside the house. Okay. Oh, damn. Right, so fundamentally, we're going to have to go up and then look down. And what we're going to have to do is look at it for the top. Right? And then duplicate it, then add it to there, right? And then if we do it from the front, okay, we're basically going to do it like that. That one will do it like that. And the interesting thing now is if we do this, and we look outside, do we actually see it? Is the question. And the answer to that is no. So, what I'm wondering here is, do we see it if it's inside the house? Yes, we do. Okay. So it does work. It's just that we don't see it through the window. So what we're going to have to do is maybe, we'll have another little think about this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop something in front of the window, okay, and then see if I can see it through the window, because it might be a lack of lighting outside the window, and that's why we're not seeing the rain. Yeah, we can see through here, right? So what I'm thinking is our rain shower we can't see because it isn't lit. So we're going to try something here. Bear with me guys, I'm just learning stuff. We're just trying things and seeing what happens. Okay. Right. If I drag that closer to the window and then up a bit, can I see anything? Nope. Okay. So the question now is, if I add a light here, right, and I pull the attenuation radius right in. Let's say 500. And then I pull it out a bit. Right, so it's really not lighting any. Right, so that's just not doing anything at all. Do I have a directional light in here? Apparently not. Okay. Yep, that is kind of working. Okay. So we're good there. That kind of works. So we can now move one to here. Press play. we didn't duplicate it. Right, give me a second. Right. It looks to be a bit off. So we'll line it up about there. The strange thing is, that our ground is kind of borking it. Right, it looks to me yeah, that looks better. Yep. Okay, now let's have a look at this material. Now, I'm not 100% sure how to use this. Rainflow material function. Rainflow material instance. I think the best idea here is just to make a plane. Make a plane and then apply these different overlays and see what actually works. And then when I'm offline or whatever, I can check the documentation and see what you're supposed to do. Right, but in the meantime, I'm going to go for a cigarette. So if you're enjoying the stream, or in fact, I'm going to leave it at that for the night. It's been a quiet night, not many viewers online at the moment, and so I'm going to call it there. So thanks for watching, guys. Check out the description for various links for ways to support the channel, join Discord. I shall be back tomorrow at 2 PM. Bye bye for now.